guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to make your very own face mask with an impermeable filter that helps keep the germ and the infections away. If this is your first time on this channel, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up if you love it, and let's just go into the tutorial. So I'm starting with a pattern paper. That's just like an A4 paper, my scissors, my ruler, my biro, a fabric. In this tutorial I'm working with like a polyester fabric. You can work with whatever fabric you want to work, and I have my nylon. This is the impermeable filter. So from the top of my fabric I'm going to mark 6.5 inches for the length, and I did this across the entire length of the fabric. When I was done marking it through the entire length of the fabric, I connected it with a straight line. Then from the center of my piece I marked 4.8 inches for the width of my face mask. Have I been referring to this paper as fabric? See, it's a paper, not fabric yet though. I don't know, because I'm used to working with fabric. So I marked 4.8 inches for the width, and I connected it with a straight line. So I have like my working piece over there. So from the top of my pattern paper I marked 3 inches. I was trying to get like not really the center, but you know, halfway the center, and I marked half an inch at the top, which is 0.5 inches, and I marked 3/4 of an inch at the bottom, which is like 0.8 inches. The reason for this marking is I'm sort of trying to carve out a compartment that will accommodate the groove of the nose and the protrusion of the mouth. Do you understand? Sort of what you do with your bustier. So when I was done marking, I connected it to a straight line. Not really a straight line, a slanted line. I did this for both the top and the bottom. So the reason for this curving is to accommodate the nose groove and the protrusion of the mouth. Do you understand? Yeah. So from the bottom I marked 1 inch upwards, and from the top I marked 1.5 inch downwards. The reason for this as well is to sort of frame the marks to fit the structure of the face. You know, the face is not exactly straight, you understand? So when I was done marking those points out, I connected it to the center of the piece with a slanted line. I did this for both the top and the bottom. So this is the pattern piece for the nose marks. All I did here was I just used my scissors and I cut through the entire outline to get my working piece. My marks, all I did was I folded my fabric into two, and I placed the pattern on the fabric, and I secured it with an office pin or some office pins. When I was done, I just cut out the front piece of the pattern, and I had to cut this thing 2 times because I need both the main piece and the lining. So I cut 2 copies of this. These are my pattern pieces, these are my marks pieces, the front, the back. That's a strip I wanted to use for the elastic, but I changed my mind and I used like a main elastic. I wanted to use as a hook, but I changed my mind and I used an elastic. So I laid, this is how I'm going to sew the marks. I'm going to lay both of them on each other and sew along that axis. So I took it over to my sewing machine and I joined it end to end. I did this for both the main piece and for the lining. So this is what it looks like after I was done joining it and giving it a good press with my pressing iron. To create the impermeable filter, I don't know why I did that on slow motion. To create the impermeable filter, what I did here was I got the nylon, folded into two, got my marks piece, placed it on the nylon, and I just cut out a large portion that will be enough for me to top stitch the nylon on the fabric. Now the type of nylon I'm working with here is not those very thick nylons. You know those nylons used for bagging, like tissue, like when you buy maybe like a dozen of tissue, those like that thin nylon used for bagging the whole dozen. Yeah, that's the texture of this nylon. It's light, I think it's a polyester nylon, yeah, something like that. So what I did here was I just top stitched the nylon all over the marks piece. This was very easy to do, like very easy, so don't overthink it. And the nylon is very breathable, so you don't have to bother yourself about, oh, will I be able to breathe through? You'll be able to breathe through, okay? So this is what it looks like when I was done sewing over. This is what it looked like when I was done sewing over. Then I went ahead to use my scissors to cut out the excess nylon that's still on the fabric, so I'll have like a clean and crisp working piece. So when I was done cutting out the nylon, I just marked where I would love my elastic to sit, and I marked 1 inch downwards and went ahead to mark about 2 inches downwards after the 1 inch point. You can see I later shifted it downwards, so like 2 inches. So you can position your elastic wherever you want it to be, but this point looked good and safe to me. So I worked with 6 inch. The length of my elastic is 6 inches. I don't know, that's like a tongue twister. 6 inches, yeah. The length of my elastic is 6 inches, and what I did here was I just used my office pin and I secured it to the marks piece. I did this for both sides. Then I laid the other piece on each other. I laid them on each other, secured with an office pin to make sure everything is well put together. And I just sewed along. I sewed like round the marks, but I left a little opening so that I'll be able to turn the marks over. Do you understand? I'm just going to sew around and I'm going to leave a little opening so that I can turn the marks over. So I took it back to my sewing machine and I just ran stitches all over the marks, but I left a little opening so that I can turn the marks over. Do you understand? Like if you sew everything, how will you be able to turn the marks over? So that's just what I did here. At the edge the edges, what I did at the edges was, whenever I got to any edge point, I just double stitched on that point, so everything will be crisp. And also at the point where I have my elastic, I also double stitched around those places so that it will give it a very good firm and hold. So when I was done sewing round, this is what it looks like. You can go over your stitches about twice, go over the whole marks twice, then I just turned it over. Before then, I used my scissors to cut the seam so that it will be easily relaxed inside when I'm turning over my marks. I didn't show that on camera, but you can just use your little scissors to cut the seam allowance so that it can be well relaxed when you want to turn it over. So when I was done turning it over, I took it over to my ironing table. At this point, I had not ironed it, so this is what cutting those seam allowance into smaller bits, this is what it helps you achieve. It looks well relaxed even before you iron it. So this is the opening I was talking about. So I just gave it a really good press, a really good press. You want to make sure you do this with a steam iron, not a dry iron, please, a steam iron. Then this is my sealer gum, some people call it hemming gum, and this is what I'm going to use to seal that opening in the marks. If you're not comfortable with this, you can just run a top stitch along the entire edge of the marks, okay? But me, I use the sealer gum. But if you don't want to use the sealer gum, you can just do like a top stitch round the entire edge of the marks, and it's still going to close up that opening. So this is what I did, and after putting the sealer gum, I made sure it sealed the fabric, and I gave the entire fabric a good press all over again. So this is what the marks looks like. I told you guys it's very easy to make, and you can make for yourself, you can make for your loved ones. It's just very easy. So if you enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up. I paired these marks with one of the dresses I made last year. I have a tutorial on that on this channel. I'm going to link it in the description box. So this is what it looks like. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up, try out these marks, tell me how it went, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.